Just coming off the 8 a.m. worship service, what incredible music we have, as we do every Sunday. We had some piano today, we had the choir back in store today, and of course, like we always do, the organ. Welcome. This is that which takes place in between the before and the after. This is the interlude. And we have Dr. Jeremy Peterman with us today, our in-house organist. Dr. Jeremy Peterman, how are you doing today?
I am doing fabulous, and it's good to be here. Thanks.
Did everything go well in your 8 o'clock worship service?
Everything went exactly as I planned.
I'm sure
Exactly.
every Sunday is flawless, right?
Yes.
I'm so happy you're here. You're going to tell us all about the organ. What a beautiful instrument. What can you tell us about this instrument?
Well, hopefully we can get through it in about 20 minutes that we have here. These, we can call them a keyboard, but if you want to be really fancy, you can refer to them as a manual. Maybe if you speak Spanish, you've learned mano for hand. So we call these manuals, and I have 4 of them, but I also have the pedals, which are like a manual unto themselves, which has 32 pedals, and then I have 61 notes on each of the manuals.
I'm at a marvel for how you can do all the hands and the feet at the same time, taking consideration how many different buttons, pedals, everything you have here.
I actually have counted them and made sure. I won't say that I counted during a sermon, but I wanted to be accurate here. We have 92 what's called a stop. A stop is anything that activates a set of pipes. And then we have 91 ranks. If you can get a shot of the horizontal trumpets up there that are sticking out this way, that's an example of a rank of pipes. It's one set of pipes that corresponds to 61 notes. So if I pull out this trumpet on Shemad 8, that is one rank, and we have 91 ranks.
This is absolutely a mammoth instrument. How does this compare to organ sizes with other organs either in our state or in this region here?
This is the largest in-use church pipe organ in the state of Arizona. There is technically one other church pipe organ that is, I think, 1 or 2 ranks larger in Phoenix, but they don't use it, so that's pretty sad. There are a number of other organs that have 4 manuals and that have between 70 or maybe 80 ranks. But yeah, this is the largest in-use church pipe organ. I have to put an asterisk every time I say that.
It's amazing. So there's all different kinds of buttons, and you're explaining a little bit to us. But like, if I just look here, you see the stops. You see these, which are different than the actual manuals. They're like, explain to us the difference between why there's different styles of buttons.
Great question. Let's start over here where I have this word general. So anytime I hit 1 through 16, 1 through 8, 1 through 16, these can set basically anything on the organ, the entire organ. And so those are my general pistons, P-I-S-T-O-N-S. And then here in the middle, I have what's called divisional pistons. So this is my great. This is the great division here. Anything I push will only affect what's over here. And I don't have anything set apparently, but I do have some you can see some action over there. I don't have too much, but that only affects that particular division. Can I talk about divisions for a second?
I was hoping you would talk about divisions
Yes.
today.
We all want to talk about divisions. Each manual basically corresponds to one division. Not quite mathematically like that, but it's close enough. So you can probably see swell here. Swell is everything in that chamber. And anything that I pull over here is activated only in that chamber, and it's basically activated from this manual here. I can play it on any manual that I wish, but everything in the swell is located in that division. We also have the pedals, which are up there to the far left. Those are basically the pedal division. Then we have the grate, which is this. And there's a lot of information, right? And then we have the positive, which is the bottom. And then we also have the antiphonal division, which the stops are up here, but they are in the balcony. Everything in the antiphonal division is up in the balcony. And we have one final one, which is the solo here. We have chimes and harp, which are located behind the large cross to the is at the west of our campus.
So help me a little bit with the vocabulary, because this right here where we are is the area that you sit, but this is not the full organ itself, because the actual sound comes out of all these different locations in the sanctuary. So this area here where you sit, what do you call this?
That's right. Great question. This is called the console. Console. The console. Many people refer to this as the organ itself, but really the organ is the entire instrument, including the blower and all the pipes. So this is just the console that I play. In the Midwest, they call it a council. I learned.
Okay. You know what I learned in the Midwest?
What's that?
What happens if you take a
Can you say this on the
you know what? Let's keep going. Let's
okay,
just keep going.
We'll work on that one next week.
So, can you play us a little bit here to give us an example of what we're talking about?
All right. Oh, yes. We have a whole variety of sounds. I really think of this as an orchestra. Not all organs are as orchestral as this, but we have our flute sounds. If you're able to capture this, I think this particular one is the most fluty of all.
So it's true that the organ is actually like multiple instruments all in one.
For sure. Yes. And let's get something much louder. We have plenty of trumpets. That's not loud enough. Let's get this. And of course, the horizontal ones that I referred to up there. We also have some in the pedal as well. So many trumpets, so many trumpets.
And I noticed when you play different things, Jeremy, up there where the pipes are, you have like, what are those called? These valves that move is it to buffer the sound, or what is the purpose for that?
They do make them softer. It blocks the sound just like shades on your window. We call those the expression shades. And if Derek is able to get a shot of that, so I open and close them with these gas pedal looking things down here just beyond the pedals. So if I want all the sound available in this, that's the swell chamber. Now I'm going to close it. And just here in front of the console, it sounds pretty loud, right? But the builders and the sound engineers of this organ, they brilliantly anticipated how much volume and sound would be in the front of the church or dead center. And what sounds loud to me is not necessarily loud in the house. But this is a really good way to be able to have what's called expression, loud and soft. And
so you control those expression shades with your foot down here, just like
with
a gas
my
pedal. And you do that during the songs?
Often I do, yes. Especially, let's see, if there is a... this says crescendo right here. So if I wanted to play louder, I could, but that would assume that I'd close the boxes first. So sometimes, just for effect, if I want to get louder, I'll close it first, and then open the boxes. I often do this during the liturgy when I want to suggest the solo, like Jennifer, she's singing a solo, so I will just close the box and then I open it for the congregation. That's just a visual cue. It might just be fun for me. I'm not sure if anybody registers it, but that's something that I'm able to do.
Wow, it's fascinating. Now, Jeremy, you keep referring to that area up there where the pipes are. I would love to take everyone back there. Can we do that today?
Let's do it. Yeah, I'm so fascinated by it because I have to stare at it for about 30 minutes each service. So yeah, let's take a look.
Okay, we've never been back there before, and I'm really curious to see what's behind there. Jeremy, as we're moving, can you just give us a little taste of what we're about to get into?
Yes. First, you're going to see a lot of cloths, a lot of cloths, and I will tell you, when I first began this job, I heard a low rumbling. And I later learned that it's one of the blowers. This is just a bear. I put that in. I put little prizes in for my son when he's walking around. He likes to find stuffed animals. So there's a blower under here, and it makes a B, the pitch B. It's a really low rumble. So in order to prevent some of the sound, I have cushioned it as much as possible. There's other blowers that I've also cushioned like this. So this is the bottom of the swell shade. Here's the front wall, which the choir sits on the other side of. If you ever hear the cymbal staring, the chiming thing, I'll use it at the last hymn today. I can control it right here. I obviously can't do it in the course of a service or a recital, but I can control the speed and the volume and what amounts to a delay. I push a button and it stops after, or starts after about a second. And all this is the electronics of the organ, which I prefer not to know too much about.
So now we're able to get a good shot of what you were talking about when we first came in, covered in these blankets here. And you said it's because there's like a low rumble that you're trying to buffer out a little bit?
I believe it's called a 60 hertz cycle. Don't quote me on that. 90 hertz, something like that. It produces a B. In fact, there's a lot of electronics. I even noticed our water fountain makes the pitch B. A lot of electronics make it B. And so does this. And I don't know if I can hear it more than feel it or feel it more than hear it, but from the congregation perspective, this is helping to reduce any of that. Again, it might just bother me.
And what's with the bear?
I found it one day and put it in. I like to hide it around the church for my son to find, and sometimes it scares him.
I thought he just came with every organ. So,
oh, yeah.
And if we go up a little bit, if we can get a shot up here,
oh, yes.
What's going on up here, Jeremy?
So this is a regulator. It also goes by a reservoir. Some people call it bellows, but this captures some extra wind pressure. So let's say I have some experimental piece where I put down all my weight and I'm just playing one solid chord. Eventually, the blower might not be able to support all of that wind. So this has stored some extra oomph to be able to push out the wind through all the pipes. And up above us, I've made a little wall here, still to reduce, ceiling rather, still to reduce some of the sound going through. But yeah, this is a regulator, and you can actually see it move whenever I play. It goes up and down, and there's a tremulant there that gives it that vibrato feeling. Wah.
So I would guess that most people that see the organ from the main sanctuary have no idea that any of this exists. This is like all the background of the instrument, right?
This is definitely the foundation of what goes on. There's a blower, as you can't really see here, but imagine, and this is just a small one. And then the air goes in there and is supported and pressurized and ready to be used.
Jeremy, I'm so grateful for your time today, for, of course, all the work that you do on the council out there with the organ instrument.
Are you a Midwesterner?
Console. I'm a Midwesterner. This is just amazing to see all this, because so much of the instrument is hidden, but you give us the inside look, and exclusively for our online crowd here with the Interlude. We're so thankful that you did this for us. I imagine there's so much work involved in this other than just pushing those keys out there, so thank you so much.
And if you YouTube La Casa de Cristo Organ Crawl, you will see my 25-minute video that takes you all around the organ.
Thank you, Dr. Peterman. Thank you to all. This has been the Interlude. We welcome you now for our 9:15 worship service.